Visual novels can be long in length, which can be intimidating to some people, especially if you are expected to read what is essentially a full book. So what happens when such a story is given an anime adaptation? Can it still provide that same experience when crossing the medium, and what new elements are introduced in that adaptation? Hi, my name is August and I want to help you find something great to experience. Today we will be looking at the anime adaptation of Grisaia Phantom Trigger and answer the main question of, should you watch Grisaia Phantom Trigger, the animation? We are going to cover whether or not you should watch Grisaia Phantom Trigger if you have already read the visual novel, whether or not you should watch it if you have not read the visual novel, and whether or not it's worth watching at all. This is going to be a spoiler-less coverage of the visual novel and the anime. If you would like to see my review of the original visual novel, links will be in the description down below. And with that said, let's begin. As a brief overview, Grisaia Phantom Trigger is the spin-off series to the original Grisaia Trilogy. Instead of Grisaia's traditional romance harem plotline with action mixed into it, Grisaia Phantom Trigger goes all in on its action genre, focusing on a special squad of high school female operators. Or to put it more bluntly, expert assassins. Grisaia Phantom Trigger the animation is a short 2-episode series, each episode being 45 minutes long, covering the first 2 volumes of the series. At the time of this video, there is a continuation to this series called Grisaia Phantom Trigger the animation Stargazer, but for this video, we are going to take a look at specifically the first episode. What is a very clear difference between the two mediums is the change in pacing. The action scenes are much more faster paced and flows better, and should be the primary reason why you should watch the adaptation. While the first volume is mostly the prologue, this first episode puts the spotlight on Rena. All of her scenes have much more of a direct impact, and shows off the brutality of the job. It's always the cutesy ones that tend to be the scariest. In addition, the more philosophical segments and inner monologues from the visual novel are cut in favor for plot progression. Thankfully, this isn't a problem, especially since it keeps the narrative at a consistent speed. Occasionally, there are some specific lines that don't make sense because of the monologue removal, and these segments hint at the larger themes of Grisaia Phantom Trigger, but these are few in number. The info dumping about the Sword organization and their whole military background was also cut a considerable amount, only giving the absolutely necessary information to get by. The in-depth gun descriptions and protocols are removed as well, which is both a strong point and a weak point of the visual novel. Sure, I would like to know what attachments will allow me to improve my aim or reduce my recoil, if I was more of a gun fanatic. But this is coming from the guy who picks the default loadouts in any first-person shooter. If I had to nitpick, there is a lack of intimate moments between Arisaka and the girls. In the original visual novel, they spend a lot more time bonding together, which gives more meaningful context to the ending, but then again, the adaptation wants to get to the gunfights.
Started blasting, bang, bang.
There isn't anything wrong in highlighting the big action moments, but at the same time, I would like to get to know the characters more and how they interact with the people around them. It makes me want to get more invested into these people, wanting to know their goals, beliefs, and histories. For this first volume, in which Arisaka has to come to terms with her new environment and these kids, the anime adaptation lacked building blocks to form the big picture around this volume's themes, but there's a reason why the adaptation did it this way. The animation and the art style of the adaptation is largely consistent with the look of the visual novel, which can be attributed to the character designer for the series also being the chief animation director for the adaptation. Character designs are also on model for the same reason, with some cute expressive tidbits here and there. The music is also from the visual novel, so nothing too outstanding there either. Just in general, a solid production overall. In conclusion, should you watch Grisaia Phantom Trigger the animation if you have already read the visual novel? Yeah, sure, I mean, why not? It's a fairly short series of episodes if you got an hour to spare. Now, should you watch the adaptation if you have not read the visual novel? Same reason as before. In fact, I'm more inclined to recommend it as an introduction to the series. Fun fact, my first introduction to the Grisaia series was through the anime adaptation and got me interested in the visual novels for the series. In addition, in case you didn't know, each of the Grisaia Phantom Trigger volumes are worth around 15 USD, and considering that there are 8 volumes total at the time of this video and counting, you're looking at around 120 USD for the whole bundle, and that's with no sale. But if you like what you see and want to see more, feel free to purchase the volumes. After all, I'm highly betting that this anime adaptation was purely used as promotional material for the visual novels. As for me, I'm already multiple volumes deep into this rabbit hole, and I intend to see it to its conclusion, especially after volume 6. That one focuses on my boy Haruto and the best girl of the series. And yeah, the girls are cute too. And as always, subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more. Check back every week for new content. For more of my thoughts, you can find me on Twitter at TheAugustTale. Check out some of my other anime visual novel reviews on my channel if you are interested. That's it for today. I'll see you